Hello, friends. What a day, what a day, what a day. Today was kind of like all-in day on the arrangement. I didn't have to complete it, but I had to start getting to where the end was in sight, or I could start to predict the end, because I really should be able to finish it by tomorrow. And it was just one of those days where it was like it grabbed hold of me and just sucked me in, and that was it. Day kind of went like I just poured it into that thing, and it's a moment of the process that I know all too well. And it's a moment where I often, and it happened today, I kind of lose myself. I kind of lose touch with my center. And what's interesting to me today, this time around, is that it is really uncomfortable. I've done this before, and I've felt it before, but I've never felt so clearly the discomfort of it. And it's bizarre. It's like, it's not, on some level you could say, well, gotta get it done. But on another level, it's like, what am I therefore saying that the priorities that I state of remaining connected to myself and remaining really truly grounded and in relationship, completely ignored Katie and Annalise tonight all the way through dinner, because I was just sitting here trying to crank this thing out. It's a rock and a hard place, because it's like I really am up against it. It really is, it really is like crunch time. It's go time. It's either I'm either gonna push through it or not. But it takes, I guess I just, maybe this is just, it's happened in virtually every process I've been engaged in, but it's this beast of a thing that happens where it's just you kind of lose yourself. I kind of lose myself. And maybe there's a level on which this does represent sort of the edge of my development. It represents me leaning into something new and taking that leap. But man, it just feels like I'm ready for bed. I'm gonna have to come back to this thing with fresh eyes. I had a really interesting morning of meditation and connection, and I think what I think I'm observing in this kind of discomfort of feeling pulled so out of balance is the fact that I am generally trending more into a kind of balance, more into a kind of connection. I'm generally staying more connected than usual, and so this being yanked in this way actually feels more conscious of it. I'm more conscious of the dislocation, and that's what is kind of showing up for me. I take that as a healthy sign, because I've definitely kind of fallen down this rabbit hole before and not felt this way, not felt the, felt the agitation sort of externally against the world, against out there, against anybody who's trying to slow me down, or, and I don't feel any of that right now. All I feel is like, oh, I just kind of lost myself. So in a way, the softness and the kind of the discomfort is actually welcome, because it's like I'm feeling it. I'm not feeling it. I'm not refusing to feel it. And I know I'm making progress, because I just went back and looked at the whole score, and I went back to the beginning. I was like, oh wow, I'm thinking so much more clearly now towards the end of the score. So even in the course of just one arrangement, I've made movement. I can feel that movement. That feels good. And I think, if this emotion and this sense of discomfort can be, of course it's of service. It's clear it's of service. It's telling me, hey, look over here, come back. And I guess the thing to do, I remember this from James Clear's book, Atomic Habits. As soon as you slip, just get right back on. Don't make a thing out of having slipped out of connection or out of your habit. Just come back. Start again. Come back to the center. That's all I can do. That's all I can do. And hopefully that will provide not just a kind of like, shift from this state, but also some perspective, some kind of. That's really what's happening when I get pulled in like this. It's like I just lose all perspective. It takes over in a way that it's no longer happening in perspective. It's happening out of perspective. And that's frustrating. Frustrating, so that's the wrong word. It's kind of alarming, I guess. It feels like, oh wow, I'm ignoring things that are more important than the priority. It's that thing. It's the very first one of the very first things I said at the beginning of this year, which is you put meditation and spiritual practice and connection at the top, as the top priority. Everything else will orient around it. All other priorities will effortlessly hang in place beneath that. If you have that one, if the highest thing is actually your highest priority, you flip that and it all starts to tumble. Because it's like trying to put, a brick, a stone block on a paper block. You can't build that way. It's not how it works. Anyway, I'm not complaining. I'm just going through a moment of recognition here, in the sense of like, oh, okay, here's what's happening. Here's maybe why it's happening, although that's less important than the fact, that it is. And then here's how I can take the next step. Here's how I can go. Here's how get back on the horse, basically. Get back to the center. Thanks, people. You helped me with this. You helped me come back to the center. Talking to you puts me in a whole different state. Just the act of speaking to you in this way once a day creates that context that I'm talking about, changes everything. So I appreciate you, love you, thank you, have a good night, see you soon.